It's the Sometimes Daily Show. It's Thursday. We're almost there. Only 2 more days before the weekend. I'm Philip Edwards.
I'm Michael Palmer. It's so close, I can taste it. It tastes like toffee. Today, we're going to be talking about Mike Morhaime and his new company, Dreamhaven.
Now, that name is probably very familiar. That's because he's the co-founder and ex-CEO of Blizzard Entertainment. He left back in 2018 after having been CEO since 2007. When you think of old Blizzard and the amazing quality they were known for, that was all because of how he ran Blizzard and the values he upheld.
Since leaving Blizzard, Mike and his wife Amy have just been enjoying life. Understandable for someone who spent 27 years creating one of the biggest gaming companies. But Mike and Amy are entrepreneurs at heart, and they both love the gaming industry, so they decided to make a new company.
It was at this point Mike had dinner with Jason Shays, a former executive Hearthstone producer who is also in the early stages of setting up a new company. They talked, they laughed, they probably drank wine, and then they decided to work together. They would set up a centralized company called Dreamhaven. This would act as the banner company and would handle all the necessary publisher-esque duties. Meanwhile, they would make 2 new studios to actually develop the games, Moonshot and Secret Door.
Moonshot would be helmed by Jason Shays, Dustin Browder, the game director for StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm, among a huge list of other things, and Ben Thompson, the creative director for Hearthstone and art director for World of Warcraft trading card game, among other things. Moonshot was going to be the studio Jason was setting up by himself before Mike offered to join forces. The studio is comprised of a small group of industry veterans, and they have no intention of growing, according to this quote from Jason Shays. Quote, "There is something a little bit magical about being a size where we can get everybody together into a room at one time and really talk about what we're trying to do." End quote.
Next up is Secret Door, led by Chris Sigerty, executive producer on StarCraft 2, Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, as well as lead producer on the original Warcraft 3. Eric Dodds, the original game director for Hearthstone and game designer for World of Warcraft and StarCraft, and Alan Dabiri, who has been both a game director and technical director for Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm. Secret Door is in the same position as Moonshot. They have about 8 people working there and have no intention of growing any larger.
Now, you may be thinking to yourself, all the games we listed for these people are Blizzard games, and you would be 100% correct. Dreamhaven and its 2 studios are comprised of almost exclusively ex-Blizzard employees who got fed up with Activision's greed encroaching on Blizzard's core values.
There's a common thread running throughout all of the statements that have been made from the members of this new company, and it's an undying respect for Mike Morhaime and the values he upholds. Jason Shea said, quote, "I have just tremendous respect for Mike as a values-driven leader, somebody who really had a lot of courage to accompany his convictions, and so the idea of working with him and getting this off the ground was the best of possible worlds," end quote. And Chris Sigerty said, quote, "I was familiar with Mike's values in the 24 years of his career. The thing that stood out to me were moments when we were working on projects and it was unclear whether we needed to push forward and just get something out or push the date back and get to the greatness. Mike led the way, making tough decisions to the point where he was allowing enough time for the greatness to form and get to the quality that it needed to be," end quote.
Now, we here at the show could go on about how we feel this is the light at the end of the tunnel, the shining beacon we all need. But we don't have to. We can let Mike's own words do a better job than we ever could. Quote, "We're almost trying to create a haven for creators who want an environment that is development friendly, values product and player experience over short-term financial pressures. We believe in the power of gaming to bring people together as an escape of the unpleasant things that reality can bring. In that sense, it's a haven as well," end quote. For a bit of context, the Dreamhaven company art features a prominent lighthouse. Mike went on to say, quote, "We like the imagery of a lighthouse as a beacon, and that inspires us because we hope that Dreamhaven can be a beacon of hope to others in the industry who share our values and philosophies. There is a better way of approaching business and game creation that can work and be sustainable and be a lot of fun and yield positive results," end quote.
I really hope this is a wake-up call for some people. Studios don't make video games. People do. These people work 100+ hours a week to bring us entertainment. Perhaps we can be just a little bit more grateful to them. And when everyone leaves the studio, it ceases to be the same studio it once was. I have great sadness when I say this. Blizzard is dead. But I'm so happy that I can say, long live Dreamhaven. The last thing I'll say before we wrap it up is, fuck you, Activision. Not the developers working their asses off, but the executives that have no morals or respect for the work going on in the trenches. Fuck you. That's going to be it for today. Really hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, hit that like and subscribe button and maybe share it with a friend. Also, remember to come back tomorrow for another Sometimes Daily show, because if you don't, we're going to hire a mariachi band to follow you around until you subscribe and until you start watching regularly. Then, every time you miss an episode, you'll be looking over your shoulder for a mariachi band. So, see you tomorrow.